Yo, what is up, homies? This is the Swoleologist here with your weekly Q&A. And today's questions are, do you recommend pre-workout? What is your favorite exercise? And how do you eat healthy if there's not enough time or access to cook or prepare health-conscious meals? Excuse me, whether that's because you're a full-time student or a full-time employee and it feels like there's just not enough hours in the day to cook and prepare healthy meals. So when it comes to this issue of pre-workouts, I undoubtedly would recommend pre-workouts. In fact, I would venture to say that outside of whey protein, your pre-workout is one of the most integral and important supplements that you can include. Now, later sometime this week, I'm going to actually make a video individually and specifically addressing pre-workouts and go into more scientific detail of in depth of why I recommend them and why they're good for you. But for the sake of time and length of this video, I'm just going to answer the question on a surface level and say yes, I would recommend pre-workouts. And the pre-workout that I would personally recommend based on observation and experience is Pre-Jym. Pre-Jym is made by a man named Jim Stepani, who holds a PhD in exercise physiology and has done an extensive amount of research at Yale University on supplementation, nutrition, and exercise. So the guy definitely knows his stuff. You can actually see him here on the back of the supplement here, and he's all natural. He's in his 50s and he looks like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, his body and his resume speak for himself. And from a taste perspective, I think that this is also one of the most this is probably the best tasting pre-workout on the market. I've tried pretty much all the main commercial brands out there: Cellacor C4, Muscle Farms Assault, Muscle Meds Noble XMT, Optimal Nutrition's Gold Standard, which they're all great pre-workouts, but when it comes to taste and effectivity, I think Pre-Jym is in its own league. So at the end of the day, I think Pre-Jym is the best pre-workout that you can take on the market. To answer the second question, what's my favorite exercise? To objectively answer this without any personal, my personal favorite exercise is the bench. But if I had to objectively answer it and say what I think is my favorite or best overall all-time exercise is, I would have to say, most of you probably don't want to hear this, but the barbell squat. Now, I know squats suck. They're mentally and physically demanding and challenging, but when it comes to burning fat, increasing strength, increasing overall muscle mass, the squat is unparalleled in all of these areas, as it's the pinnacle of compound movements, which means multi-muscle, multi-joints. When you squat, you're activating the most muscle fibers and including the most joints in the body, more so than any other exercise. So it's going to increase your overall mass, muscle mass, overall strength, and help encourage fat loss more than any other exercise that you can include in your workouts. To address this last issue of not having enough time, look guys, I'm a full-time student, I'm a college student, a pre-med major. I definitely understand what it's like to be short for time and feel like there's not enough hours in the day to get everything done. I've been there and I've done that. But at the end of the day, it really boils down to how important your goals are for you. Now, this may seem a little harsh, but the majority of people, from my experience, they just make excuses, and their goals are not as important to them as they say they are. If losing fat and gaining muscle and getting fit and in shape are that important to you, then you are going to, all excuses aside, do whatever it takes and is necessary to achieve these goals. So that being said, what I have personally done to overcome this obstacle of time is I meal prep the night before, and I take 20 or 30 minutes out of my day to make sure that all of my meals, or at least a large majority of the meals for my next day, are already prepared. And what I do, I found these are meal prep containers, and I found these on Amazon for real cheap. I bought 7 of them for just around 14 bucks, and they're real nice because they're friendly as far as size. They can fit in college dorm size fridge, small fridge. They're refrigeratable, they're microwavable, they're dishwashable, so you can put them anywhere and put just about anything in them. So what I do is I take 20 or 30 minutes out of my night before I go to bed each night, and I make either all of my meals or most of my meals and store them in these, so that the next morning when I wake up and start my day, all, if not most of my meals are already prepared and ready to go, and I'm not burdened with the task of having to prepare them throughout the day. Let's be realistic here. No full-time employee or college student has the time to prepare 6 meals throughout the day, and I understand that. So as I said before, it really boils down to how important these goals are to you. If they're really that important and you really want to prioritize them, then you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice 20 or 30 minutes of sleep to make sure that your meals are prepared and ready to go for the next day. So I hope that I adequately answered all of your guys' questions. Thank you for your guys' questions. As I said, these videos are driven by you guys. So as long as you guys supply the questions, I'll keep supplying the videos. And I do this for you guys. I love bodybuilding and health and fitness. More so, I love helping people and want to help you achieve your individual fitness and health goals. So I hope this helped you guys, and I will see you next week. Stay swole.